that we're used to. But it's so far from the truth because this is also the reason why we do not find it fun in praying. Because you're telling what you call God what you want. In other words, it's kind of you saying that God doesn't know what you want, so you have to then tell God what you want in prayer, make it loud, make it dramatic, in order to get the attention of what you call God, then for your prayers to be answered. But that means, in order to do that, that means you're saying that the universe isn't aware of your needs. Hmm? Often, what we find the case is that everything that we need has been given to us. We just need to tune ourselves to the point where we're able to identify that this thing has been given to us and then use it. And also, the same way you humans say, God forgive. Before you can forgive, that means you're holding a grudge. So, in other words, you're saying that what you call God is holding a grudge, and you have to now beg for forgiveness. And when humans also say, if you disobey God, you'll be sent to a lake of fire, that means you're saying what you call God has this punishment incentive for humans if they go out of character, if they act out of ignorance. Something that even parents won't do to their own children. You're giving that relationship to what you call God, the most intelligent, magnificent design in the whole universe. You think that such a thing or such an entity, if there was one, is so myopic that they're going to hold grudges against humans for acting out of ignorance, knowing that society is very sick and people are only using the options they have in order to survive. And then you say that this divine, intelligent being is going to punish humans for acting out of ignorance. Is that an intelligent design? If you ask us, we'll say no, because what we find is that humans are already in heaven, what you call heaven. And that is a state of being where you're one with all things. It's a state of ecstasy. We've mentioned this before, and we're speaking from experience. We didn't read none of this in the book. And this is part of the information we want to share to the younger generation and also to the older generation because they kind of are so lost in their way that they think the system that they created is perfect. So they're perpetuating that same system because it's beneficial to them. But it's not beneficial to the next generation. Perhaps it was beneficial at a certain time, but for the present beneficiaries, it's actually not, it is not productive enough for the next generation and this present generation. For instance, you have something you call student loan and then you're paying income tax. Wouldn't it be more productive if you get student loan while you're studying, and then while you're working, income tax is used to pay off the credits from your student loan? That should make common sense. But you have a system where people go to school in order to study, and you're creating debts for studying to pay for study, and then after you graduate, you get a job, and then you're still paying income tax, and you're still paying student loans. It's it's giving prison system, isn't it? But think about it. If you have a system where people get access to credit to pay for their studies, and then when you graduate and you get a job, income tax is used to service the loan that you took when you were studying. That's brilliant. You can work with that. These are certain things that we need to start changing in place. The system that was led before our time is not perfect. There's no need to keep perpetuating that imperfection like it's the only way for things to operate when it isn't. Now, we also have a system where you have defense budgets. You spend trillions of dollars in defense in order to fight war, but how much is being invested in peace? Is there an incentive for good behavior in planet Earth? That's the question. Ask yourself. There's punishment for bad behavior, but no incentive for good behavior. So you can actually be a good person and live this good life and play by the rule. But the moment you just go out of character, there's punishment waiting for you, and that punishment is being financed by the states. It's kind of like they're encouraging people to do wrong. You have two nations that can't speak English going through a battle. They're fighting themselves, and there's trillions of dollars. The rest of the countries are coming together to donate billions in order to fight a war. How often do you see the countries come together in order to solve a problem that is germane to the system of the people, the collective? How often do you see countries come together to perhaps fight poverty, fight homelessness, fight drug addiction, and the things that actually affect humans as people? How often do you see if there's an incentive for peace, for a nation that's been so peaceful for many years, they give them money or some kind of incentive, say, for you being so peaceful? But the moment two nations break into war, you find out that the rest of the country is coming together to create this fundraise in order to fund further fighting. So you see how dysfunctional the system is, and it's important that we understand it for what it is. So when it's our time to be in charge of the development of our community or our country, we know what to